Kohala Yahweh, Bahashem Hamashak Yahweh Shai. This is your fellow servant, Tazawar, again with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Vadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom rule well, and from whom we learn this truth. Shalom to you, Akim, who are not in GMS, but are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth with all sincerity. To you Akwath, sisters, and you brethren, as well as you speckled birds scattered abroad to other nations, looking like the other nations, as well as the hopeful elect, to you I say shalom. This is our weekly installment of Hebrew Conduct. This lesson is inspired by a conversation I had with a brother of mine in the world, been knowing him for about 18 plus years. Anywho, Salakia. We were talking about basically taking the low, all right, or some would call it the high road, but I don't use that term because, we want to remain humble, and humility is a trait that's evermore being forgotten about. But the conversation went something along the lines of this. So there was some discrepancy, some issue with the young man and his father, right? Now, I say young man, but he's mid-30s. And he's got a son of his own, much like myself. I've got two. But one of the things I mentioned to him, is sometimes, even as a child, a son or a daughter, for you sisters, or even if you're dealing with siblings and not parents, But the question also often arises, why do I have to be the one to shoulder the burden, or why do I have to put in extra effort? Because that person, when the opposite party is not showing forth the effort, especially if they're older than us, then we kind of have that mentality that they ought to know better. If you know better, do better type thing. Well, every person has had a different upbringing, different walks of life. But in short, every spirit is different. Okay? And so what I mean by that is each spirit, each person has their own inclination. All right? Let's go ahead and grab some scripture because I'm rambling. Let's grab, first thing I want to do is let's look up the word heart, right? Or mind. Okay. Let's just get it in This is Exodus, the 9th chapter and the 12th verse. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord has spoken unto Moses. Right? But the point is, we want this word heart. Right? And it reads Lob. It says Leb here, but we know there's no E's in the Hebrew. Lob. All right. And it says inner man, mind, will, heart, understanding, inner part, right? Mist of things, heart of man, soul, okay? Heart, mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection, memory, inclination, resolution, determination of will, your conscience, all right? Heart of moral character, as seat of appetites, meaning, as it said above, your inclination, what your soul is attracted to, right? What your spirit is attracted to. Some people like music. Some people like have an inclination towards food and cooking. Some people are craftsmen or master builders, right? As seat of appetites, all right? As seat of emotions and passions. Okay, emotions and passions. So why is this important? At the root of this conversation is to remember to give grace unto others. Okay? Because we are living in the time of grace right now. We're under grace through Hamashiach Yahushai. Right? And so it also speaks of not harboring. The scriptures speak of not harboring ill feelings, ill will, or not hating your neighbor, right? But that's talking about people of our nation. And that is extended to, obviously, your family, okay? So this means any grudge that you may have, especially you people that are, you brews that are, quote unquote, in the truth, all right, or believers, or on the search for knowledge, okay? If you partaking in any of the feasts, then you should know that you can't eat of the Passover unworthily. Meaning, you can't partake in observing the Passover if you still harboring ill feelings, hate, disdain, whatever that is from last year, the prior year, whatever. You have to let that shit go. All right? Or you defiling the feast, man. That's first and foremost, especially for you Akim that are in the truth and know better, right? Now, the other talking point that I had in this conversation is, sometimes you just have to do better, right? You have to do better than, your old self and the people that raised you. Because that is really at the crux of what it means to be a parent, right? In the world, people often talk about wanting their children to do better than they did, the next generation, right? Well, people speak on breaking generational curses, right? Well, we know that the curses of Deuteronomy and 28 are still laden thick on our nation, on our people. And it's going to be that way until Yahweh Shai comes back. But that doesn't mean that we we just wallow in filth and sin. All right? Because at some point, if you know better, you should do better. Or at least you should be attempting to do better. We understand nobody's perfect and we all, fall short. However, the other thing to keep in mind is that, when we're talking about do better than the previous generation, do better than your parents, most people look at that as finance or material gain, what you can amass in substance, right? Well, King Solomon said that all that is vanity, right? Even if you are on a pursuit of generational wealth, right? Which we know through the scriptures that, if you've been following along, that YOLO is bullshit. So you come into the earth, you live out your lot, and you run your race, you do your course, and then you go back to the spirit world, you give up the ghost, go back to the spirit world, and you get judged. Right? And then after your judgment, you come back into the earth. Salakia, after you pass, you go to the Heavenly Father to get your judgment. Then you come back into the earth to live out that judgment. Okay? Whether that be, you turn out to be a scoffer, much like the Pharisees and Sadducees of Yahushai's day, when they said, roughly paraphrase, they said, let his blood be upon our heads and the heads of our children. Meaning they was going for blood because those men knew that they was coming back. So those same men, those same spirits are back again today. Right? But before I go down that road, what I was saying is we want to push character growth in spirit, right? Growth in spiritual things. And people of this world have forgotten that. Okay? Again, I mentioned Solomon. He mentioned that all these things are vanity, right? Salakia. Hey, Salakia. I somehow ended the video by accident. Anyway, I was mentioning Solomon, right? He said all these things are vanity, man. So let's get Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter. Let's in verse 9. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. Why? Because you can't take any of that shit with you to the grave, man. You can't take none of it with you. All right? So again, this is why the scriptures tell us to lay up spiritual things, spiritual treasures in heaven, man. All right? And the scriptures also say, if we forgive others, then we will be forgiven ourselves. So keep that in mind. But back to the point. Because we know this, right? Especially you brothers in the faith, okay? Brothers in the truth. I'm speaking to you men in GMS and the men that follow our teachings in particular. Okay, if you know that we come back every third and fourth generation, right? Then this is me speaking as a man. It is your duty to be better than the parents that raised you, right? In character, brothers, all of, siblings, all of that. Okay, why? Because the hope is what? Like I was telling my Ak in the world, my brother is in the world. I said, Lord willing, if you really understand how that whole regeneration thing worked, then our parents really are our children. Okay? Because you come back in the same family line. Our parents are our children. And if you have been given a measure of spirit to where your eyes have been opened and you know this truth and you believe in this truth and you applying it, all right, you on the quest for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, then yeah, you got to move on a higher vibration, man. Hey, and that shit is easier said than done. I'm not saying it's easy. Don't get it twisted. All right, but next to pushing this ministry, man, that should be your second your second most important thing. As far as priorities go. All right, trying to tap into that higher vibration, man. And the two coincide because you can't possibly push this truth, push this message in spirit and in truth with all sincerity if you moving on a low vibration. All right. Now, if we be those men, if we be the head of our families, which at the very least, through salvation, we're hoping to be those men on the other side. Okay, through Hamashiach Yahushua. When you come back, the 144,000 and the remnant elect that will be saved, all right, that will be taken up, when they go into the kingdom, they will be the heads of their family. All right, and that goes for the women too. You will be, obviously the order will still stand that the man is the head, but the honor of having that role as the woman to first off be attached to an elect man. All right. Secondly, being saved through childbearing to enter into the kingdom, and then to be the mother of the offspring of the greatest nation that the world has ever seen and that the world will ever see in the future. Perpetually, meaning forever, in new glorified bodies. Like most people can't fix their mind to think about that level of honor. And you brothers, man, how much more so you being the heads of the family as the men. That's a heavy burden, a huge honor, but a heavy burden, man, because most of us can't even fathom forever, like not dying. All right, and being the head of the family. Now, again, Lord willing, we be those fruits, right? The first fruits. But let's get that. Let's get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and we're gonna start at 1. All right. Now, there's a point I want to pull out of this verse. Now, this is talking. Excuse me. Let me just get it. Jeremiah 2:1. It reads, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem," right, which is a people, saying, "Thus saith the Lord, and remember thee," Salakia, "I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown." This is the point. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. The first fruits of what? The first fruits of his increase. All that devour them shall offend, evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord. Right? Let's get this word first fruit. First, let's get this word holiness. Kodash, right? It says apartness, holiness, sacredness, separateness, apartness, sacredness, holiness of God, places, things, set apartness, set apart, separateness, right? Hallowed. Strong's definition say a sacred place or thing, rarely abstract, sanctity. All right, dedicated, hallowed, holiness, holy. All right, saint or sanctuary. That's why I say, "Oh, when the saints come marching in." That's why the scriptures call us the saints. All right, because we are a holy people. All right, first fruits. Rayashat, right? Rayasha tha. Rayasha. Let's see how they say it.
Strong's H 7225. Reshith, second entry. Reshith.
It says first, beginning, best, chief, beginning, first, chief, choice part. All right, we're gonna go into that word chief as well. All right, but it says first, beginning, and best. Right, what did I say? We striving to be the first of our family line. Okay, the first of our family line. Let's get another one. Let's get Romans chapter 8 and verse 23. Let's do 22. Right, the point's in 23. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. All right. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. Right. Those glorified bodies that that's being spoken of, right? That celestial bodies. But what does it say? It says, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. All right, so we ourselves, we have the first fruits of the Spirit, the best chief parts of the Spirit, man. The beginning. And if we be those men, Lord willing we are, all right, Yahweh Ratazah, that means that we indeed are the Alahayim, okay, or part of the Alahayim. We're numbered amongst that group in the headings, okay, from Genesis. But that's a heavy lesson. All right, we're gonna keep this one milk. All right, let's get one more. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse I'm gonna start at 20. But now, Salakia, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 5. But now is Hamashiach risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that slept. All right? The first fruits of them that slept, meaning the first begotten of the dead. Okay? For since by man came death, Adam, by man came also the resurrection of the dead, Yahweh Shai. All right? Which that is the same, those are the same, that's the same spirit. Those two men are, that's the same spirit. All right? Yahweh Shai is Adam. In the last incarnation, he came in the earth. That's why the scriptures call him the second Adam, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's pretty plain anyway. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive. And this is the point. But every man in his own order. Hamashiach the first fruits, right? Afterward, they that are Hamashiach's at his coming. Okay? So again, Lord willing, we be counted among the first fruits, man. And the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven is what we want to be. Because that is the kingdom that shall reign forever. All right? So, let's get this word chief. All right, let's get this word chief. Let me go to Genesis. We're just going to grab it. 21 and 32, right? It's talking about the chief captain of his host. But all we want is this word chief right here. Right? And if I'm correct, it's the word Shar. The chief captain. I am correct. 8323. Salakia, this is 8269. The root word is 8323. But the word Shar, right? It says here Sar, right? But we know that this shin has a sh. So that's Shar. And when you say the name of our nation in Hebrew, Yasharallah, that's the word. Yah, he, Shar, right? And then Allah, he, prince, power. Yah, he, Shar, prince, Allah, power. So this is a root, Shar. And what it say? Prince, ruler, leader, chief, chieftain, official, Captain, chieftain, leader. All right, a vassal or noble official under the king. We know who the king is, right? Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Captain, general, commander, right? Chief, head, overseer, heads, princes, all right? Elders, merchant, prince of rank and dignity. Dig this. Patron angel, ruler of rulers or warden, right? Patron angels. And we are those angels, man. The word angel just means messenger, but you know, we be the same. All right. What does it say here? Strong's definition. It say a head person of any rank or class, captain, that had rule, chief, captain, general, governor, keeper, lord, taskmaster. Let's get the root word of this. Right? Sharar. It says to be or act as prince, rule, contend, have power, prevail, or reign, govern, to rule over, lord over it. Right? Prince or rule. There you go. A leader, chief, or captain, a prince and a ruler, man. That's what we trying to be. Let me see what this it's another word I wanted. Can't think of what it is right now, but let's see what it's saying. Let's look up this word, chief, in the Greek, right? If we got a New Testament word that say chief. This is 1 Timothy 15, right? This is a faithful saying and worthy of all exception that Hamashiach Yahushai came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am chief. Right? Let's get this word chief in the Greek and see if what it say. Protos. So the prototype, protos, right? It says first in time or place. First in time or place. And we know time is different in the heavens, yo. In any succession of things or persons. First in rank. That's the word I wanted. Protos. First in rank. Influence. Honor. Chief. Principal. First at the first. All right. So this basically go into it's a pro, right? In front, prior, above, go, or go before. You know, it's another one that I wanted. Can't find it right now. We're talking about being in more excellent rank, right? Having a more excellent rank than the others. But protos basically say it first in rank right here. So if we those men, if we are the first fruits, then yeah, hey, you got to move on higher vibrations. All right. But that's just food for thought for this this week's rendition of Hebrew conduct. You know, the brothers and sisters should be moving likewise or aspiring to do so. All right? You got to practice at this shit, yo. All right? You got to practice at it. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.